Look, I'm a Marvel super fan. I used to read comic books and so forth. I didn't think that Kang was a great supervillain, to be honest.
He's one of the,
And sorry, I just want to finish
Mhm.
by saying this. I feel that Jonathan's strength is not in a superhero or supervillain kind of role.
He was good as Kang though.
I feel like he's just so much. He wasn't as good as Magazine Dreams.
Well, two
Like
two different roles.
That's what I'm saying. But I
Yeah.
feel like he's better at this dramatic role. You see what I'm saying? And he doesn't shy away from like gay roles and stuff like that because Magazine Dreams had a whole like a gay kind of storyline.
That was
at one
crazy.
point.
When he
That was
walked
crazy.
away, yeah, he
Wasn't it?
walked out spitting out the trailer. He left the trailer after
Oh
being with
yeah,
the dude spitting on the ground like he just left a freak off.
exactly. No, listen. When I met Jonathan for the first time at Jason Lee's Hollywood Unlocked Awards, and we got introduced, and the first thing I said was like, Oscar-worthy performance.
Yo,
Oscar-worthy performance.
if he hadn't had none of this controversy and his career was still doing what it was doing, and this movie came out, he'd have won the Oscar for sure.
Right.
For
Right.
sure.
Listen, I tweeted this recently. I said my top 2 movies of the year so far: number 1, Magazine Dreams; number 2, Weapons.
I haven't seen Weapons yet.
Great movie.
I got Sinners my number one.
Who?
Sinners.
I like
got
Sinners. I
Sinners
didn't
my
love
number
it.
one.
I didn't love it.
I
'Cause
love.
here's the thing: I felt that Sinners didn't quite have the originality of Magazine Dreams and,
Really?
and Weapons. Yeah, because it's generally a vampire movie, right? Yes, it has cool like music sort of incorporated in it. I think it's dope the way they used Michael B. Jordan as both characters and so forth. But it was a vampire movie, right? More or less.
The ill thing about Sinners, the vampires weren't even the greatest threat in the movie.
What do you mean?
Greatest threat in the movie was white people.
What do you mean?
You forget the end scene of Sinners. The end scene of Sinners isn't them taking out the vampires. It's Michael B. Jordan taking out all those white people who came
Oh yeah, right,
to kill him in the morning.
right.
You know what I mean? Like that movie represented, for a moment in time, there was a group of black people who, purchased this property and they had a little bit of liberation for just a few hours. Literally, just for
Just a few hours.
Just
yeah.
for a few
that day, and that's it.
Just for
Yeah.
a few hours. And you know what caused all of that shit to go down the drain? White people. It was a white woman. It was the white woman who ended up being a vampire that he let in and fucked her. And then it was the white people who came the next morning who, whether or not the vampires got them, the white people was gonna get them.
Well, I mean, it was vampires that really ruined everything. When you really think about it, it was the original vampire.
All I'm
guy.
saying, well, it was no. I will say this: it was paleness. It was pale
Paleness?
vampires
Okay.
and
No,
white people.
I thought Sinners was very good.
Sinners
I
was
watched
good.
it twice. I went to the theaters and watched it. Right, I supported the movie. Was it Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler, man, another
Great,
genius.
and the fact that he switched genres, he doesn't do horror films.
Ryan's so genius he can literally do whatever he wants to do. Like him and Aaron Magruder, they have the same type of brain to me. It's the same level of creative genius. But to go back to my point, man, that is a message that I will tell every black person. I don't even like the conversation when people say things like, man, white people get to do it. Yo, you not white. I'm not trying to get in a position of power and acquire money to be evil. And I'm not saying all white people are evil. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like when they make that statement. Like, white people get to get away with that? That's not what I want. I want us to just move like the civilized kings and queens, gods and goddesses that we are. If we do that, we don't got to worry about none of this type of stuff. Like, what they say, what's the word they like to say? I'm just saying, they'll say it's a public lynching. Sure, but don't give them the rope. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to give you the rope. Like, I should know how to move out here. If I already know that I'm going to be a target, why am I giving them something to target? Nobody can take me out if I'm not giving you something to take me out with. Like, you know how they say, they be like, oh, this alcohol company that Diddy was a part of
I don't agree with
wanted
that.
to take him out.
That's conspiracy theory.
I do believe that's conspiracy theory, but let's just say it's true. I totally agree. I believe conspiracy theory. But if it is true, if Diddy doesn't give them anything, if they don't know Diddy has these vices and these bad habits, they can't use them against them.
Yeah, but look, people are gonna have relationships. People are gonna have sex. Like, for example, the Tyler Perry situation. You see those text messages?
That was some bullshit. Them text messages was some bullshit.
You
like,
think it was fake?
It's not that they were fake. It just wasn't about anything. Like, they weren't saying nothing crazy.
Well, it's two consensual people. Now, if they're gay, they're gay. Like, I've always thought.
I didn't even see the sexual side of the text messages. I didn't see nothing sexual in them texts.
You didn't see that, the sexual side of the hold on a second.
I didn't see that. I saw the guy asking for Tyler for help, and Tyler was giving him advice.
So allegedly, one of the text messages from Tyler Perry to this guy, Dixon, who was suing him, said, you have a big dick. When you hit that G-spot right on these bottoms, they go crazy.
That's fake. That's not real. Like, that's not real. Where that came from, Vlad? That's not real.
I mean, you could check text messages. Like, you can't fake a text message.
That's not
By
real.
the time it gets to court, like, you have to show, like, you could subpoena, like, the cell phone company and so forth. You can't fake a text
I didn't see that nowhere.
This one, Complex.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see that nowhere.
Yeah, that's part of the lawsuit.
Yeah, I didn't see that nowhere.
Yeah. Listen, to me, this looks like a consensual relationship between two gay men, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. I have no problems with that. I have gay friends, shout out to Jason Lee. I have gay employees. I have never given a shit about your sexual preference.
But think about how somebody is trying, and I don't know if that's true or not, but think about how somebody can weaponize that just to get a fucking payday. So I'm just saying, you gotta move. And by the way, to your point, when you're in a position of power, you can't move like everybody else moves.
So you can't send text messages like that with someone that you're sexually involved in? Really?
Probably not. Not nowadays. I wouldn't. I would learn from that if that's true.
Yeah, but look, people gonna have sex, people gonna have relations. Like, what's the big deal? Seriously, what's the big deal? So two guys are talking about sexual stuff because they're probably having sex. So what?
But what if your lifestyle isn't out there for everybody?
Well, that's the problem. I think that with, and I've talked to people that know him and so forth, and they're like, listen, we don't know about his sexuality and we really don't ask. The other day, I feel like if, Tyler came out as gay, do you think anyone would be shocked? I mean, his claim to fame was dressing up like a woman. At the end of the day, like, nobody would be shocked.
I don't even think that matters. I think that's just art. Like, even the whole dressing up like a woman thing, man, when we were growing up, that was nobody cared. Nobody cared that Jamie Foxx.
Would you be shocked if he came out of the closet? I would not be shocked.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
Exactly. But seriously, nobody would be shocked. Nobody would be shocked. Look, he has a baby and so forth, but you see gay men who have babies and so forth. I think it's cool. Honestly, I think people would actually embrace him more. But this is the problem I think that he's probably having, because his core audience is who?
Women.
But specifically, what type of women?
Black women from the South that are probably into the church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think in the church, there's a certain stigma about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it shouldn't be anymore. Yeah, like you said, how do we even get here? How did we get to this conversation?
I don't know. But speaking of this, it's kind of a good.
I do want to say something though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tyler Perry is another unsung hero. Tyler Perry, if you ask me, doesn't get celebrated enough.
Really?
I do not.
I feel he's extremely celebrated. He should be.
By his fans, but I think that, just the industry and culture should celebrate him more. What he's done is damn near impossible for a black man to do, but it's difficult for anybody to do. This guy has his own studio in Atlanta where Marvel even films out of. Like, everything that we talk about wanting to do, building your own, being independent, creating your own art, not having to answer nobody. He's the blueprint. Everybody, the person that the shit Dame Dash be talking about, he really does it.
He's the real one, yeah.
He really, really does it. And his name doesn't come up enough for me when those conversations happen.
Well, I mean, you know why? What I feel is because the films he makes are not like the Oscar-worthy films. They're good films for his audience.
But you know what? Tyler has some movies that have aged very well. And I think that, the other thing about Tyler, it's not that he didn't start in film. He started with stage plays. Like, my mother-in-law was a huge Tyler Perry fan. We would go to Blockbuster late 90s, early 2000s, picking up, Madea stage plays. So when he came out with Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which was a fantastic movie, by the way, which you see memed up crazy now. Everybody's always running with the Diary of a Mad Black Woman memes. The movie did so well because he had already laid that foundation with the stage plays. He had already made millions of dollars off the stage plays, went and did the movie, Made $30 million, I think, opening weekend with Lionsgate. That was great. That movie, Daddy's Little Girl, those are some really good films when you look back at them in hindsight.